Great evening for you. I'm Dr. Janke. Welcome to the weekly webinar. I got a little darkness going on there. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Let there be light, sound, guitars. Let there be rock. I'm Dr. A little AC/DC there for you. I'm Dr. Otto Janke. Thank you for being with me on the weekly webinar. There are some very, very simple aspects I believe we should all address when it comes to your and my health and longevity. There are 5 very simple aspects that aren't always simple to attain. When I talk about longevity, and I talk about this many, many places, many of the talks I do, the webinars I do, the videos I do, the white papers I write, we start looking at 5 aspects. I call them the pyramid of health. One is mental rest and focus. Being able to, on a regular basis, take your brain out of gear and let it just rest. Therefore, you can then focus and work hard. And the mental rest and focus is you look at meditation, you look at listening to instrumental music, prayer, going for walks in nature. Those are the ways that have been shown. So that's number 1. Number 2 is rocket fuel. Stop kidding yourself about what you eat. Stop kidding yourself about what you eat. Really. I mean, it's very amazing. Just stop kidding yourself about what you eat. The processed food in America is actually slowly, for some people, killing us very quickly. For me, it's a plant-forward diet. Plant-forward diet. Number 3 is having some form of adaptive motion, which means you change it up. You change that motion up. You aren't going on the treadmill and just sitting on and standing on there for 30 minutes a day. You change up what you're doing while you're moving. You change it up. You aren't going on the treadmill and doing it for 30 minutes 3 times a week at the same pace, Your body doesn't learn that way. Your brain doesn't learn that way. Change up what you do and your brain gets younger. Or at least it doesn't accelerate aging as you are doing it. That's why lifting weights, moving, doing floor exercises, not doing floor exercises, swimming, not swimming, biking, not biking, all those. Change it all up. That's 3. 4, getting great sleep. The amount of times I have to talk with patients about their sleep. It's amazing. Amazing. But sleep is it amazes me how focused we are on having our young ones sleep. The baby sleeping, don't say anything, keep it quiet because we want to get the baby. We put the baby to sleep at this time, they wake up, for adults, we're like, I'll find a time. The old I'll sleep when I'm dead. You have no idea how quickly you're trying to make that come true. But the foundation of all those 4 is an optimized nervous system. Not a good nervous system, an optimized nervous system. And I recommend that you test yours on a regular basis through heart rate variability. I've been doing it in my office for over 20 years. I've actually had articles published using that technology. Here's the key. How can we get you to start off having your nervous system de-stressed as much as possible? Well, you can do that mental rest and focus. Always great. Make sure that you have better food. What's amazing, though, they work better when your nervous system is optimized. So that when you add those things on, you get the biggest bang and benefit from those 4, from the mental rest and focus, from the rocket fuel, from the exercise, from the sleep. Those work better when you have a nervous system that's optimized. You add those things on, fantastic. You're overall better, but they work better because you're optimized down here. The circuitry is better. The messaging is better. That person over there eats the same exact food I do, and they don't do well on it. Well, it might be because the nervous system may have a digestive problem. The nervous system doesn't communicate well. 60, 70% of the people walking in my door don't go to the bathroom correctly initially. I see it all the time. So we start with an optimized nervous system. What's the simplest, what's effective, most effective, cost-effective ways for you to get a better nervous system? What is reasonable, effective, cost-effective way for you to have a better nervous system? And it's having great posture. And I don't want to sound uncaring or unfeeling, but I don't care if you feel like, hey, listen, I have no pain. I don't want to sound like I'm uncaring, but I don't care if you tell me that you don't have any pain and if your posture is terrible. I'm going to give you three articles right here. This is from brownhealth.org, from Brown University. Posture and how it affects your health. Posture refers to how your spine curves and how your muscles engage when you are sitting or standing. It involves your spine and muscles working together so you are correctly aligned. What causes bad posture? Repetitive motions or poor biomechanics. The amount of gaming posture I see is astounding in the young guys in their 20s. Astounding. Early 30s. Astounding. Weak muscles, genetic conditions, which is just not as much as you think. Injuries, workstations that are not set up correctly, or poor ergonomics, or just always being like that. Looking down at your phone or tablet for long periods of time. Fatigue, carrying heavy bags or purse, especially over one shoulder, or carrying extra body weight. The benefits of good posture. Your mood gets better. Your bone, joint, and muscle health. Better breathing, fewer headaches, stronger back and core muscles, improved range of motion, injury prevention, and less fatigue. The negative health effects of poor posture. Neck, back, and shoulder pain with increased risk of injury. I see this all the time. Stiffness, well, of course. Stress incontinence due to increased pressure on the abdomen and bladder. Whoa. Heartburn, slow digestion due to increased pressure on the abdomen, which can in turn force stomach acid in wrong direction because of your posture. Because of your posture. Let's go to Harvard Health Publishing. 3 surprising risks of poor posture. Incontinence. Poor posture promotes stress incontinence when you leak a little urine if you laugh or cough. Slouching increases abdominal pressure, which puts pressure on the bladder. I don't know if I knew that. Constipation. Poor posture on a toilet. Hunched over with your knees lower than your hips can promote constipation. Heartburn, slow digestion. We've heard that these 3 times. And then we look at getting it straight. News and Health from NIH, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Posture is not only how well you sit, but how well you move and go about your daily life. Poor posture can affect many things. Your age, the situations you find yourself in, your daily choices. I mean, it's amazing how for granted we take our own posture. It's amazing. It's amazing how much we take our own posture for granted. And we think, well, it's not that big of a problem, or it's just the way I am. As many other docs have, I've been published in journals. I've had case studies in which we have improved people's postures and actually improved the curve of their neck. I've been published in national journals on doing that. The amazing part is that you are putting time, energy, and focus into having bad posture. And then you come to me and say, listen, it's going to take you a while for this. You're like, what? You've been working on this for years, some of you for decades. And we're starting a process, so we need to build you better. Well, no, we're not going to do just that. You've been like this for years. Then you take an X-ray of the spine, you see the spine has grown old, has absolutely increased degeneration, accelerated degeneration because of the posture. I see that all the time, all the time. It's never too early or too late to in life to work on improving your posture and how you move. A fundamental part of my practice. A fundamental part of my practice is building you better. Building you better so we can decrease the aches and pains, but more importantly, improve you so you are upright more often. One of the greatest things we can do for you, one of the greatest things you can do is to have better upright posture. I mean, it's not even close. One of the greatest things you can do for yourself for decades to come is have better upright posture, more upright posture, and not this. This will make you grow old tremendously fast. This will slow down the aging process. They talk about going through all these nutrients and stuff and these peptides. I have nothing against them. But here's the reality. You want to do one of the greatest things you can do to slow down your aging process is get up here as much as possible in this line and in that line. Do that. You got a lot of people trying to sell you a lot of stuff. I got to tell you, move more, eat better, get mental rest and focus, sleep better, but start the foundation of a nervous system that's absolutely optimized and get up to this position here and here. You do that, you slow down the aging process. Yeah, I know it's not. I'll be more than happy to have you sign up for a monthly program. For $79. I'll be more than happy to do that. I'll more than happily take your money. I got no problem doing that. But we do the things that are reasonable, effective, and cost-effective first. We do those things. And we see absolutely big changes with you. What I find astounding is that people want to overlook the simple things, the reasonable, effective, and cost-effective things. How much money do you think you're going to save by having yourself be in this position more? Let's be realistic. You probably decrease the amount of times you come to my office. How come you don't want to do that? Well, I prefer to. Why are you taking your own bad advice? Here's a great question. Why are you taking your own bad advice when it comes to your health? Well, there's a lot of people who, why are you taking your own bad advice? The simplicity of having reasonable, effective, and cost-effective things we do on a regular basis. You've heard me say this before, but what's the definition of longevity? The definition of longevity is, one of them is that it is you doing daily healthy things. You doing daily healthy things. Minimize the toxins, the physical things, the mental emotional stresses. Decrease those. Do more daily healthy things. It ain't rocket surgery. It ain't rocket surgery. The other definition I made a couple of years ago was that longevity is the act and intent of being so healthy that you leave something great behind by what you've done today. That's you start going, holy crap, that's a whole different other ball game. Yeah, absolutely. Longevity is the act and intent of being so healthy that you leave something great behind by what you've done today. You have no idea what those things are, how great it could be for someone else. Are you reading a book to them? Just go and visiting them. You don't have to be curing cancer or find a solution to the Middle East crisis. Sometimes it's showing a kid how to play a violin. Change their life. And again, the other definition we use for longevity is you doing daily healthy things. Daily healthy things. Minimize or cut out those things which are going to age you. And they're going to rob you of years. That stuff just robs you of years. I'm not hurting anybody by it. Yeah, you are. First of all, it's you. And when you aren't good, I'm affected too. Doing daily healthy things. When the most effective and cost-effective and reasonable things you could do is getting your posture up to there. Ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, hips over the knees, knees over the ankles, and straighten this line. It's reasonable, effective, and cost-effective. I love doing those three things. I put everything through that mesh, that strainer. Reasonable, effective, cost-effective. I know these things work. I know they do. They aren't the sexy things that you're going to go buy for whatever, hundreds of dollars every month, and they worked well in animals. No, these are things that these things worked well in humans. Yeah. Start there. I'm Dr. Otto Janke. Thank you for being with me. I'll see you next week for the weekly webinar.